For this project, I have adapted my in-person workshop, Data-Driven Design, to a virtual format that is both engaging and interactive by design. The target audience for this workshop are students enrolled in a college-level interior design program and, ideally, all within the same class. This is a synchronous format, as the exercises are rooted in small group collaboration. In this workshop, participants will learn the framework for gathering and analyzing data to inform their design decisions and develop data-driven solutions. This framework can be broken down into 3 modules. Number 1, gathering data. Number 2, analyzing and interpreting data. And 3, writing key findings and recommendations. We will bookend the modules framework with an introduction and conclusion to measure in Mentimeter how comfortable students are with the concepts presented before and after the workshop. This comparative evaluation will allow me to determine the effectiveness of the workshop and identify opportunities for improvement for the next delivery. You'll also notice from the roadmap that a variety of digital learning activities have been integrated into the workshop to gather real-time input and data, measure engagement, and support small group collaboration amongst peers. Let's dive deeper into the technology I chose for this virtual workshop and why. I have selected 3 interactive platforms for this workshop: Butter, Mentimeter, and Google Slides. Butter is a virtual collaboration platform designed to make online workshops as smooth and engaging as possible, hence the name Butter. When facilitating virtual workshops in the past, the most difficult task I've encountered is switching between windows and platforms while also trying to hold my audience's attention, creating awkward moments and decreasing engagement. However, Butter addresses that head on, and I can use it to organize and run my workshop smoothly and keep engagement high by building out an automatic agenda, easily engaging with all participants within the platform, managing all slides and tools in one place, and activating breakout rooms for small group activities. For the small group activities, students will work through a case study, solving problems collaboratively using worksheets I've created in Google Slides. I opted for Google Slides over a new platform because I want students to spend the most analytical portions of the workshop working together, not learning a new technology. In my past experience, introducing a new technology that participants are not familiar with can shift focus away from the learning objectives and onto learning a new tool, no matter how intuitive it may seem. Additionally, I created these templates as a reference guide that students can use in the future as they work through their own projects. Next, let's examine where the digital learning activities are strategically placed throughout the session, giving students the opportunity to practice what they have learned in microdoses. In Module 1, Gathering Data, participants will learn how to approach the data gathering process by evaluating what they hope to explore or discover through the data gathering process, who they want to gather data from, and the decisions or actions that will be influenced by their data insights. Following the initial instruction, students will break into small groups where they will read the exercise case study and work through the steps outlined in the data gathering preparation worksheet, documenting their group's conclusion for each step. Instead of reviewing each group's output one by one, the presenter will add the team's responses to Mentimeter, where we can compare and contrast every group's approach at the same time. We will conclude this module by gathering real-time data in Mentimeter that students will use in the next module. In Module 2, Analyzing and Interpreting Data, participants will familiarize themselves with 3 methods of analyzing data. 1. Making observations. 2. Classifying data into categories. And 3. Measuring gaps in the data. Similar to Module 1, students will break into the same small groups and continue advancing through the process. In this exercise, students will receive the data we previously collected in Mentimeter and examine it through the lens of a data analyst. Instead of populating a worksheet, students will select 2 questions from the data and analyze them and create a visual representation of their findings. In the final module, Key Findings and Recommendations, participants will learn the formula for compiling findings into a data-driven story, which entails combining their approach, key findings, and recommendations to create a data-driven solution. Students will break into their small groups to finalize the process, pulling together their findings within their worksheet to craft a data-driven recommendation. We will conclude the module with students sharing their statements in Mentimeter. This concludes the adaptation of my data-driven design workshop into a virtual format, using digital tools and activities to engage students and enhance their learning experience in an online setting.